Welcome to Vision TV. I'm Adrianna Austin.
And I'm Connor Boulet. Thanks for joining us.
On the week of February 17th through February 21st, NGU will hold its yearly student-led renewal. It is a time where students get to lead the university in a time of spiritual renewal while in chapel. Student-led renewal offers a time of biblical order and worship from a peer perspective. It provides opportunity to learn biblical truths from their classmates. Do you want to learn more about how to effectively communicate? There will be a workshop for all levels of participants on getting practical skills to persuade in communication. Dr. Webb Drake, Dean of NGU's College of Communications and Fine Arts, will host the workshop on Thursday, February 13th. There's a $25 fee and it will be from 8:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. at the Tim Brazier campus of Greer.
Effective communication skills are the difference maker in landing a job.
I agree. It's important to learn how to effectively communicate. We've had tornadoes, snow, and rain. Let's check in with Hannah Pearson to see what this next week will hold.
Hey North Greenville, I'm Hannah Pearson, and let's check out what the weather's going to be like this week. So get your rain jackets ready because we will be experiencing quite a few showers starting on Tuesday with a forecast of rain with a high of 67 and a low of 52. Moving into Wednesday, we will still be experiencing some rain with a high of 60 and a low of 57. The rain will continue on Thursday with a high of 66 and a low of 35. But we will start experiencing some sunshine as we head into the weekend on Friday with a high of 48 and a low of 27. On Saturday, we will still see that sunshine with a high of 46 and a low of 36, but the rain will come back on Sunday with a high of 52 and a low of 46. And on Monday, we will still see some showers with a high of 62 and a low of 51. That's all for this week. Back to you all in the studio.
In the information age, Greenville's librarians push kids to take the time to check out a book. However, when there's a checkout, there's got to be a check-in. The Greenville County Library System blocked over 4,200 cardholders under the age of 17 from checking out items. They collectively owe the Greenville libraries over $89,000 in unpaid fines. Community Engagement Manager Jimmy Wooten notes that when the kids turn 18, their library debt will be erased when they sign up for an adult card. However, he encourages parents to pay their kids' fines in order to continue supporting Greenville County libraries. Concerned parent Alexis Polk views things differently. Quote, "It angers me for the simple fact that I have 5 other kids, well, 5 kids total, and for the fact of knowing that they blocked accounts, I think it's ridiculous because you're stopping their education," end quote. As of now, there's no news on how the Greenville County Library System will make up for the money lost on the overdue fines. Surviving a stabbing is a miracle, but try being impaled over 20 times. Inmate Marco Owens lived to tell the tale and is suing the South Carolina Department of Corrections. Owens accused the South Carolina Department of Corrections for neglecting to protect him from 5 masked assailants who stabbed his head, neck, back, chest, and leg. After the attack, Palmetto Richland Hospital treated Owens, who needed 2 IVs because of how much blood he lost. Owens, who's serving a 50-year sentence for attempted murder and other violent crimes, argues the correctional facility has a history of failing to protect inmates harassed by their fellow prisoners. In early January, SCDC Director Brian Sterling requested South Carolina lawmakers provide the department with $100 million to, quote, upgrade security and raise employee salaries, suggesting what happened to Owens may not be an isolated incident.
Wow, that is such a crazy story, Connor. I can't believe that something like that would happen in a place where prisoners are to be watched 24/7.
Well, with prisons as full as they've ever been, sometimes bad behavior just slips through the cracks. Now we're going to take you over to Mary Margaret Ellison, who's going to bring you sports.
What's going on, North Greenville? I'm Mary Margaret Ellison with this week's sports recap. On Sunday, February 2nd, NGU baseball fell to the Sailfish of Palm Beach Atlantic with a heartbreaking score of 6-5. But the Crusaders bounced back in their home opener on Tuesday, February 4th, as they took down the Lander Bearcats 6-4. Also on Tuesday, February 4th, the NGU softball team defeated the Wingate Bulldogs in a doubleheader with a score of 4-3 and 1-0. The men's and women's basketball team faced the Bobcats of Lees McRae on Wednesday, February 5th. The women were down by 21 at halftime, but used the third quarter to erase that deficit and win by 1 point, defeating the Bobcats 68-67. The men, however, started out great, but they fell to the Bobcats in the second half. The final score was 102-89. There are many games to look out for at home this weekend. On Friday, February 14th, NGU baseball will take on Kentucky Wesleyan College at 2 p.m. and 4:30 p.m. and Saturday at 1 p.m. On Saturday, February 15th, NGU men's and women's basketball teams will host Spartan College. Tip-off is at 2 p.m. for women and 4 p.m. for the men. It's going to be an exciting week for upcoming games. Come out and support. I'm Mary Margaret Ellison with this week's sports recap. Be sure to follow NGU Vision Media on Instagram and Facebook for the latest on Crusader sports. See you next week, North Greenville.
There is new evidence in the college admissions scandal. A former financier, Douglas Hodge, was sentenced to 9 months in prison, 500 hours of community service, and $750,000 in fines. Hodge is said to have involvement with the bribery scandal. Hodge went as far as to trying to get his 4 kids into the colleges of Southern California and Georgetown University as fake athletic enrollees. Hodge states that he feels remorse and he knows that what he did was wrong. We have heard about the dangerous coronavirus spreading from China, but what about the flu? In a time of crazy weather patterns, the flu is gradually becoming more popular in the U.S. and more deadly. There were more than 10 pediatric flu deaths in the last week, resulting in a total of 78. We seem to have another double-barreled flu season, stated Dr. William Schaffner, an infectious disease doctor at Vanderbilt University Medical Center. In further observations, there have been a total of 22 million cases, including 210,000 hospitalizations and 12,000 deaths. The most effective way to prevent disease is to wash your hands and seek your healthcare provider if you have the disease.
It doesn't cost anything to take the time to disinfect, and in the long run, it may save lives.
I agree, and we often overlook that. Valentine's Day is coming up quick, and Vision TV's Ian Richings interviewed a bunch of students, and I think we're going to love what they had to say.
Hey North Greenville, I'm Ian Richings, and it's Valentine's Day. Love is in the air, and to celebrate, we're going to have a little bit of fun. I've put together 4 fun Valentine's Day themed trivia questions, and I'm going to be finding 2 couples and 2 singles to ask them to. We're going to see who can get the most right. Will the couples be able to work together to end up on top? Or are there going to be advantages to flying solo? Come on, let's go find out. Question 1. Which of these sayings was not on the original Sweethearts Candy Hearts in 1902? Be mine, hug me, be true, or kiss me?
Well, of course, I was born back in the day, so I know exactly. But thinking about it, technically, they were more conservative, so I would say kiss me.
I don't know. Between hug or kiss?
Yeah, I'd say, sure, kiss, yeah.
Be true. It's got to be true. That ain't.
I'm
that
say
ain't-
be true, yeah.
That's too deep.
Yeah.
Be true.
Unfortunately, it was hug me. See, everyone thinks it'd be true. That makes the most sense. Question 2. Approximately how many Valentine cards are sent each year? 500 million, 2 billion, 1 billion, or 10 billion?
I would say 10 billion.
At least 2, I'd say.
I say 2. There's no way it's 10.
I'm gonna do the million one.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to million. I was about to say.
500 million?
Yes.
10 billion.
It's 1 billion. 10 billion sounds like a good number, but like it's less. Question 3. Who created the first box of Valentine's Day chocolate? Russell Stover, Milton Hershey, Louis IV, or Richard Cadbury?
Richard Cadbury.
But Cadbury is no, that's Easter, like hard.
I feel like the Hershey dude.
Okay, we'll go with Hershey. We'll go with Hershey. I want to say Hershey.
I want to say it's Hershey.
I want to say it's the other weird guy, Louis the Fourth.
So Louis the Fourth? Cadbury. Again, y'all were on the right track. It was somebody random. You usually think of him as the egg guy. Last question. Which of these famous romance films never won an Oscar? Titanic, The Notebook, Gone with the Wind, or La La Land?
La La Land.
Gone with the Wind.
Gone with the Wind.
I feel like Notebook. Notebook.
It is The Notebook. Woo!
1 out of 1. That's all we need.
Well, there you have it. One couple and one single got one question right, which really ain't too shabby when you think about it. Congratulations to Ashlyn and Emmanuel and Dima for being our big Valentines. Back to you guys at the studio.
Coronavirus, a deadly respiratory infection, infects more people in China each day. Of the more than 34,500 affected on the mainland, over 1,000 have died from the illness. The virus has been spreading through China for over a month now, and 64 have been infected in neighboring Japan. A 34-year-old ophthalmologist named Li noticed symptoms of the disease in Wuhan and tried to warn people of its coming, but the Chinese police promptly demanded he retract his statements as lies. Li died from the virus this past Friday. In response, countries who do business with China are evacuating people inside the country and quarantining them to test for the virus. With no end in sight, the United States government prepares to donate up to $100 million to help with the relief effort. Meanwhile, China's National Health Commission continues to care for over 4,800 people of those infected, 17% of which are in critical condition. Our support and prayers go to all those infected. 9 people murdered and 2 wounded in a video arcade shooting in Uruapan, a town in Michoacan, Mexico. 4 assailants entered the arcade, asked the patrons a few questions, and opened fire with military-grade hardware. 4 of the victims were between the age of 12 and 17. Police investigating the scene located what they called, quote, 65 ballistic elements, end quote, while investigating the scene. Tragedy of this nature has struck Uruapan in the past. In 2006, one drug cartel headed 5 rival gang families on a dance floor. In 2013, 7 dead men with messages stuck to their body with ice picks were found in the dumpster. Information about the alleged criminals is currently unknown.
Wow, I am so sad for those kids and the families who had to witness that incident. I really hope they catch the criminals.
Mexico police are hard at work, and we'll be rooting and praying for them to continue on and work as best they can to catch those bad guys.
Well, that's all for today. Thanks for joining us. Be sure to check out NGU Vision Media on Facebook and Instagram, and check out thevisionNGU.com. I'm Adrianna Austin.
And I'm Connor Boulet. Have a great week, North Greenville.